T-Rex! Rex! I'm a motherfucking T-Rex! Rex! I'm a motherfucking T-Rex! Rex! I'm a motherfucking T-Rex!
Hi and welcome to the first video in a series I like to call Mediasaurus. This will be a couple of videos where I don't necessarily review dinosaur movies, but rather discuss them, and today I would like to tell you all my feelings towards the first, The Land Before Time. When I was a kid, it didn't matter what quality the film had, as long as it had dinosaurs in it, I would force my parents to buy it. But The Land Before Time is one of those few films that I like more as an adult than as a kid, because as a child I couldn't not appreciate the story and the wonderful dynamic between the characters. The story goes like this. A young Apatosaurus named Littlefoot has to travel with his mother to a place called the Great Valley, because all the plants are dead everywhere else for some reason. But his mom is killed by a T-Rex, so he has to find the Great Valley on his own. Along the way he is joined by a Saurolophus named Ducky, a Triceratops named Sarah, a Pteranodon named Petrie, and a newborn Stegosaur named Spike. The film has pretty much the same cliches as most children's films that came before it had. It has Disney-like animation, comedic reliefs, and a simple story. Yet I found this film to be surprisingly fresh, and I think most of it is because of the development of these characters and their relationships to one another, as well as how Don Bluths and his team is able to visualize it. Littlefoot is one of the most complex protagonists in any animated film, mainly because he never stops to develop as a character, and his arc starts once his mother dies. At first he can't believe she is gone, so he hears and sees her everywhere. Once he accepted that she is gone, he realizes that he is all alone, and he gets depressed, until he meets his new friends and starts lighting up. Then the next step of his development begins. Since he is the only one that knows the way, he has to assert himself as the leader of the group. Otherwise, they would all die. With other words, he has to get tougher. We also see a darker side of Littlefoot when he put himself and his friends in danger just to kill the T-Rex that killed his mother. I don't think this scene is here simply because the film wants an action scene for its final climax. It is here to show that Littlefoot no longer blames himself for the death of his mother. Another great moment for Littlefoot is at the end, in where we get all the flashbacks. Those flashbacks are there to show that while Littlefoot might always remember his mother, and maybe always miss her, he is now able to put that behind him and create a future for himself with his new friends. Many of the other characters are also very complex, even though they might not have any real character arcs. There is a phrase that goes, "The more we learn, the less we know." That fits rather well with Ducky. She is very curious about everything. I mean, she started chasing an insect before she even managed to fully get out of the egg, and she even went inside the beak of an alligator snapping turtle only to see what was inside. But she's also rather naive, like when she thinks a tree talks when really it was just Petrie. She is naturally curious about things, but she's just too young to learn from what she discovers. Ducky is also very kind, and she bonds to many of the other characters. Obviously you can't talk about Ducky without talking about Spike. Spike is the only protagonist in this film that don't talk, but I don't think he is as stupid as most people think. For example, when Littlefoot and the rest staple on top of each other to get to the tree leaves, he does the same and pushes Littlefoot upwards, without anyone asking. Stegosaurus see, Stegosaurus do. Sure, he thinks with his stomach, and sometimes that causes trouble, but he don't get in as much trouble as Sarah or Petrie. What mostly characterizes Spike is his loyalty to Ducky, maybe because she was the only one that saw him hatch. These two are inseparable, and it fits nicely that she later adopts him as her younger brother. As a dinosaur nerd, I find Spike's character design to be rather interesting. He's a Stegosaurus, a species well known for its bony plates, but Spike don't have them yet. He has these bony bumps. Just like the frill and armor of the hornbill and the alligator. According to this film, Stegosaurs were not born with these plates, and that is a valid theory, since no Stegosaurus hatchlings, as far as I know, has ever been found. Plus, not having those plates would allow Stegosaurus to grow larger inside the egg, coming out a lot larger and stronger. Petrie is the film's comic relief. Now, a comic relief is tricky. If your writing is good enough, you get Timon and Pumbaa. But if not, you have another Jar Jar Binks on your hands. Petrie has the same characteristics as most of the other comic reliefs from this time. He is energetic, cowardly, socially awkward, and his voice is raspy. His kind of humor is sort of pandering to the kids, yet I found myself liking and laughing at him. Also, he is loyal to his friends, and he has his weaknesses and he has his strengths. So, he felt like a real character to me. I also really like that all the others try to get Petrie up in the air even if he don't really wants to. 'Cause I have the same relationship with a lot of people. Last, I like him for his close relationship with Ducky. Even in the really bad sequels, you really feel how much these two care for each other. Some people say they are a romantic couple, but I have never seen it that way. They are simply two very close friends looking after each other. The fifth member in the group is Sarah. And sadly, she is the only character I can't stand in this movie. She is brash, mean-spirited, not very clever. She is arrogant, and she lies to people she doesn't even know, only to get their respect. Tell me, what about this annoying brat should I like? You could say that she is this way because of the way her father raised her, and that her character arc is to get over that, but once she has changed, it's just too little too late for me to enjoy this character. A huge tyrannosaur named Sharptooth is the film's villain. He is not that much of a character as he is a force of nature. Like a raging tornado, you can't really stop him or communicate with him. And unlike the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, I can actually buy that Sharptooth is so obsessively chasing these much smaller animals, since he really don't have that many other prey around, so he has to go after whatever food is available. Unlike in Jurassic Park 3, where Spinosaurus has an entire island of larger animals to hunt. Then there's Rooter, the ankylosaur. I decided I wanted to talk about this very minor character because he got a pretty interesting history. You see, censors felt that the scene where Littlefoot's mother dies was too traumatizing for kids, So Don added this scene where